Everyone online tells you that buying rental properties is the ultimate path to financial freedoms. Buy enough doors and you will wake up wherever you want, travel the world, and live stress-free. Except it almost never plays out that way. I know because I lived it. My name is Clay Hepler. I scaled to over 85 rental units. I had a luxury Airbnb. I had the portfolio that looked incredible on paper and to the people closest to me, but behind the scenes, it was a nightmare. 120-year-old terracotta sewer lines cracking, HVAC systems failing in January, a phone that would never stop ringing with problems. And when the market shifted in 2022 and 2023, it wiped out $500,000 of my net worth. I sold everything. I took my last $30,000 and built a business that now generates over $3 million a year in gross profit with 0 tenants, 0 toilets, and 0 2 a.m. phone calls. Today I'm going to show you the actual math on rental properties versus what I do now. And you'll see why the rental model is a trap for early stage investors. And later, I'm going to show you how you can create real passive monthly income without ever owning a rental property again. But first, let me tell you about the lie that almost broke me. Now here's the math that no one shows you. A typical rental property after your mortgage, your insurance, property management, and CapEx reserves clears maybe $100 per month, $50. That's the industry average. Some months more, some months much less. So in order to replace a $5,000 a month salary, let's just say $10,000 a month salary, you need 100 doors, 100. And that assumes 0 vacancy, 0 surprise repairs, 0 interest rate increases, and no tenants trashing the place. One single code violation, one burst pipe at 2 o'clock a.m., one eviction can wipe out an entire year of profit on a unit. I had over 85 units, 120-year-old buildings with terracotta sewer lines that kept cracking, $12,000 sewer replacements here, $8,500 code violations on another, HVAC failures in the middle of winter, and the luxury Airbnb that I had. When the market shifted, bookings dried up, and I was hemorrhaging cash on a property I could not fill. I was not building wealth. I was building a very, very expensive and very, very stressful job that I could not quit. And the bigger my portfolio got, the more it felt like my portfolio owned me, not the other way around. And it shouldn't be like that. So with rentals, you tie up massive capital for 2, 3, 5% annual return. Your money is locked up in a 30-year mortgage. You're cash strapped and vulnerable every time the market shifts or rates rise. You're hoping for appreciation 5 or 10 years down the road while you babysit the building and the property managers and the contractors that put it all together. With land, the game is velocity of capital. You acquire land at 45 to 60% of market value from a motivated seller. You sell it 60 to 120 days later. Your profit is locked in the day you buy, not years later. You can turn your capital 3 times a year or more. So the math here is simple. $100,000 deployed once in a rental equals $5,000, maybe $10,000 a year. That same $100,000 deployed 3 times in land at $30,000 in profit each turn equals $90,000 a year. Same starting capital, over 10 times more annual return. And unlike physical buildings, dirt does not break. There are no roofs to leak, no plumbing to explode, no hidden mold acting as a financial time bomb behind drywall. Your risk is all about paperwork and feasibility and due diligence, not what is behind the wall. If the land perks, if it has legal access, and the zoning allows the intended use, your intending use, your outcome is predictable. You're solving a research puzzle, not managing a construction project. And that predictability is what makes the model scalable, even if you start with little to no money. So instead of hoping for 5 to 10% returns, you build a margin of safety by acquiring the property at 45 to 60% of market value from a motivated absentee owner. Your profit is locked in the day you buy it. You can buy a 40-acre parcel for $225,000 and sell it 20 days later for $430,000 without ever leaving your desk or swinging a hammer. I've done it. If this math is clicking or you're kind of tired of being in the rental property world, I completely understand. You want to learn how the land model works step by step with real deals. You can join a free community of people that are beginners to operators, completely free, thousands of investors sharing what is working right now with live deal reviews, deal breakdowns, and no gatekeeping. You can click the link in the description to join the #1 free community of land investors on the internet down below. Now here's the part that blows people's minds. Obviously you can see the velocity of capital, the ability to create active income versus rental properties. It's not even in the same ballpark. But if you actually want passive monthly income, you don't need rental properties. You need to offer seller financing on your land. So banks, depending on where you purchase land, they don't lend on raw vacant land like they lend on houses. That means that many buyers cannot get a traditional loan. So when you offer owner financing, you unlock an entirely different buyer pool. People who can afford monthly payments but cannot get bank financing, this 3 to 4X's your buyer pool. And so you can structure like the following. We do this with a lot of deals: 10% down payment, maybe 20% depending on the credit, 12 to 14% interest, 5 to 10-year terms. You become the bank. You collect predictable monthly payments with zero maintenance calls, no tenants, no toilets, no property management fees. Just checks arriving when you sleep. And if they default, you keep every payment they made, including the down payment, and you take the land back and you sell it again. You literally get paid twice on the same parcel because the land is your collateral. It does not depreciate, it does not break. With rentals, the bank controls your buyer pool. With land, you are the bank. And the returns dwarf anything a rental property can produce at the same scale. The most interesting thing when I was originally thinking about this is like, okay, so if I do seller financing with land, I might have a 5-year term or a 10-year term or a 15-year term, but like I'm thinking about a rental property, I want to have that thing for 30 years. What you see with most real estate investors who actually build true wealth is after a period of time, they build a ton of equity. That could be at the 7-year mark, the 10-year mark, the 15-year mark. And what they do is they usually trade the equity that they have into a larger piece of real estate, which is called the 1031 exchange. There's incredible tax benefits, which is one of the reasons why people do still like rental properties. But to make the notion and base your decision around buying land or buying rental properties because rental properties cash flow longer is losing the point, right? Because 99% of the time, you're gonna be trading the rental property. It's like living in a home. I think someone moves every 5 years on average. American moves every 5 years. Maybe it's changed at this point, but it's the same exact thing with owning a rental property. So you're making a decision. If you don't do this, this is what I was thinking, that I don't want to own land for 15 years. What am I going to do in 15 years from now? I'm going to be doing something completely differently. That's the same exact thing with a rental property. So if you own a single family home, you're probably going to want to sell it eventually. That's why I like the ability to owner finance land, because over that 5, 10, 15-year period that we're owner financing the land, I wouldn't have owned a rental property that much anyway, or I would have had a horrible return on my equity and it wouldn't have been worth it. So if you are a rental property investor, you know the feeling of spending months managing contractors, permits, rehab budgets to force appreciation. In land, you force appreciation with a pen and paper. So we bought an 80-acre parcel in Minnesota for $105,000. We legally subdivided it into 4 separate parcels, and we sold it for a combined $369,000, over $235,000 in profit in under 6 months. So you can multiply the value of the asset without building a single structure, connecting a single piece of electricity or plumbing or roofing. It's just by subdividing the parcel and abiding by the zoning regulations of a certain county. I'd rather deal with a single zoning jurisdiction or a surveyor that have to deal and babysit contractors and tear up these old walls or floors and figure out what's underneath it. It's cost me an extra $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and it kills my project. It happened so many times. So I'd rather not deal with that. You might be thinking at this point, man, rental properties, absolutely not, right? I am interested in land. So I don't want you to give up on rental properties forever. I want you to reverse your framework for buying rental properties. This is the framework that I wish I knew before I bought my first rental. I'd be a lot richer today. Step number 1, you want to build a high margin active income engine. Land flipping, for example, $20,000 to $50,000 in profit, velocity of capital, you're generating massive cash windfalls that you can control. Step number 2, you want to stack the cash. Do not touch it, do not diversify, do not throw it into crypto because your buddy has a hot tip. build a liquid capital base that gives you options. Step number 3, now you deploy it into durable, long-term assets. Now the rentals might make sense. You're looking for depreciation, you're looking for a long-term cash flow, but you have a massive river of income that you're able to position into this, because at this point, your business is off the ground. You're not struggling to survive because your active income is so big. I think of passive income as a reward for the hard work at the beginning. The active income is what I need to do to put in place so that eventually I can earn the right to go passive. But at the beginning, when I was going passive first, it completely derailed my investing journey for 3 to 5 years, because I thought I was building a real estate empire, and what I realized was I was building a series of real estate properties that owned me, that I couldn't dictate or create financial freedom from. They were sucking the life out of my financial freedom, and I had to reset, I had to recalibrate. So learn from my mistakes and go active income first, and then leverage that into passive income. Because thing happens with rental properties, which is exactly what happened to me. I didn't have enough cash, right? Property management, issues with banks, issues with tenants, issues with contractors. But when you have a lot of active income, it's a lot easier to manage the up and down of rental properties. And you can think of the 5, 10, 15, 20-year terms that is required. And actually, to make true money with rental properties, it's not a 5-year game. And a lot of people, including me, get into it thinking it's a get rich quick, and it's get rich long term after you already have the cash flow, right? So now you see the math. Rentals trap your capital and land multiplies it. And seller financing gives you the passive income without the headaches. Now, if you want to see the full step-by-step system, I used to go from $30,000 in the bank to over $3 million in profit a year. Click the video right here in the screen or in the description down below. I break down the exact roadmap from beginner to multi-million dollar developer in land. That's the perfect next step after this video. Stop buying headaches, start engineering wealth. I'll see you in the next video.